The Modern Warfare 3 beta has ended, and honestly, I have very mixed feelings about it. I'm going to talk about my experience with the beta, and I will talk about what I liked, what I disliked, and what I didn't really care for. First up, launching the game. I like the concept of having a central hub for Call of Duty games, where you can access all the games in the series in one place. Although, I have some serious concerns about how future releases are going to be handled, based off of how they're releasing MW3, but I'll save that for the end of the video. Next, I'll go over some things that I liked while playing the beta. Map voting. They're bringing back map voting for MW3. I seriously can't believe they're so incompetent that it took them 3 game releases in the rebooted Modern Warfare series to introduce map voting in multiplayer. I mean, even Cold War, the reboot for Call of Duty Black Ops, had map voting 3 years ago. One thing I noticed as soon as I was able to customize my loadout was the revamped perk system. I really like how thematic it is now. You have a vest, gloves, some boots, and gear. One of the new toys that they added was the new lethal called the Breacher Drone. I didn't like this one at first after I died to it the first time, but once I got over it, I thoroughly enjoyed using it. I like the gameplay loop of spamming breacher drones, which can happen frequently if using the demolition vest, or after resupplying ammo from a munitions box, which you can get really fast if combined with the engineer vest. My favorite gun by far in the entire beta turned out to be a sidearm, the 3-burst Beretta 93R. Or the Renetti, as it's called in this game. I liked how accurate it was and had very little recoil. Plus, it was very fast to swap to after emptying your mag in your primary weapon. And the last thing I liked about MW3 was the blue dot sights. They were so clean and very easy to see through. The aesthetic of it reminds me of the red dot sights from the Titanfall franchise. Now, onto what I've disliked about the game. There is no fucking 7.62 AK to play with. In every modern shooter Call of Duty beta test there has always been a 7.62 AK for us to playtest with, usually the AK-47. Instead, we got a shitty 5.45 AK to suck donkey dick. This one was really huge for me because the 7.62 AK is pretty much the only assault rifle I use in every modern shooter Call of Duty game. Now, although there wasn't one to play with in the beta, this doesn't mean there isn't going to be one in the full game, or at least I would hope so. I also didn't like using the snipers that were available to use in the beta. They were both semi-automatic snipers that felt like you were firing airsoft guns. I'm more of a bolt action sniper user, so hopefully they have some in the full release to play with. When playing non-objective type game modes, which for me were TDM and Kill Confirm since I only played the Mosh Pit playlist, it was painfully obvious that the spawns were fucked. There were several times I would keep spawning in the same spawn repeatedly, regardless of enemy positions on the map. And the biggest thing I didn't like while playing the beta was the poor visibility. It was difficult to see people sometimes, and not only that, it was hard to tell the difference between friend or foe. A lot of the time, I would end up shooting teammates, or vice versa.
I just shot at you. Yo, how do I tell who's a friendly?
Welcome to the game, brother.
Lastly, my biggest concern is on how future Call of Duty releases are being handled. It's well known by now that Activision has been making the same Call of Duty year over year since Call of Duty 4 back in 2007. Going on 15 years now, it's been normalized to pay full price for a refreshed version of COD 4's multiplayer, with a new campaign and a co-op mode, usually zombies or spec ops or some shit. Now, I know I shouldn't be surprised that MW3 is following the same tradition of releasing as a standalone game being sold at full price, but I was secretly hoping that they would change the way they monetize Call of Duty, since we now have a centralized hub for all Call of Duty games, at least for the Modern Warfare franchise currently. Frankly, I would have preferred if they treated Call of Duty like a live service game akin to MMOs. Now, what am I talking about? Well, since Call of Duty HQ started with Modern Warfare 2, they could have just built upon it. With what I'm suggesting, in order to buy into Call of Duty, you'd have to purchase Modern Warfare 2 in its entirety, campaign, co-op, and multiplayer. Then future content you can buy individually. Like, they could sell future COD titles as expansions, split up into following formats. New campaigns for like $30 to $45, for example the MW3 campaign. Co-op modes, not zombies, for around $20 to $30, for example Spec Ops and raids and whatnot. Zombies for around $20 to $30, and the multiplayer refreshes would be free. But I mean, if Activision executives really need a fifth yacht, they could sell the multiplayer refreshes for $10. For example, if you own MW2, you can purchase MW3's multiplayer, or any future multiplayer entry for $10. Although, I would really prefer if they let the future multiplayer refreshes be free under this monetization strategy, if you own the base game, which is MW2 2022 in this case. Because, let's be real, they make most of their money on microtransactions nowadays, and this would allow more people to enter the franchise, which would lead to more microtransactions and sales. You picking up what I'm putting down, Activision? Now, will I be buying MW3? Nope. And that's all I have to say regarding how I feel about Modern Warfare 3 and the franchise as a whole. To those of you that made it this far in the video, thank you. I appreciate you. Now, I know all of you are smart and intelligent people, so I don't need to tell you how these buttons work, right? Of course not. And once again, thank you for watching my video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Be safe out there, and until next time.